Hello and welcome everyone to the Marketing Concierge, now available for Florida Network Realty. My name is Katie. I'm here at Improv, the company that has designed the Marketing Concierge, and I'm going to go over all of the new features that are available to you and how you can use it for your new listings and everything in general. So now that we're here at the Marketing Concierge, you can see we're at the home page. We have different designs that are available to you, but before I show you more about the designs and how to edit pieces, I want to also tell you more about automation. Automation is a product that you also have. It means that anytime that you have a new listing, you're going to automatically receive an email for that listing letting you know that we've created marketing pieces for you already. As you can see, it says congratulations on your new listing, and it'll provide each of the marketing pieces that are already filled out with information from the listing, its text, and the photos that were pulled from there. So here we have two types of brochures, an 11 by 17, an 8 by 8. There's an e-card, a flyer, a jumbo postcard, a property tour, as well as a YouTube video. The instructions right here in the email let you know that you can go into the Marketing Concierge account. You can access that account through Agent Accelerator, and once you're there, you can go ahead and email it to your clients and prospects, distribute it to social media, and of course, get most of your print products printed. So if we take a look at each of these, we're going to first look at the property tour here. You can skim through different photos. All of your information about the property is provided. There's a map of the location. You can add a video if you would like, and then remember your contact information is getting pulled in. We also have some Florida Network Realty specific promoting here. As we move on, here's an e-card for you. This is something that you're going to email out. We have a postcard, a flyer. This is great for anytime you have the open houses or if you want to have a couple around the office. Here's the brochure. That's the 8 by 8, the smaller mini size. Once again, everything's getting pulled in. And lastly, we have our fold over brochure. That's going to be 11.5 by 17. So the nice thing is that you're going to receive these marketing pieces 2 days after the property has been listed to the MLS. You can go ahead and access these projects from the Marketing Concierge that I just showed you. And where you would first go is to Projects. Once you're here, you can find the coordinating folder that has the address of the property. 1234 Main Street, and again we have all 7 of those completed projects right here. Now because we're pulling the information in from the MLS, we want to make sure that everything was pulled in the right place, and if there's anything that we might want to add, we can do so here. So the first thing that I'm going to look at is this flyer. Once we click on the flyer, we have multiple options available to us. First, we're going to start at Preview, Edit, and Duplicate. Of course, if we want to take a second look at this flyer, we can preview it. It's going to load up, and it's going to say Preview across the top because we don't want you printing this version. As you can see, the text is getting pulled in, and there's a little bit more space to add some text, so I might want to do that. And I can see my agent information at the bottom. So in order to edit it, to add that additional text, I can click this Edit button. And once I'm here, I have this navigation bar at the top of the screen that's going to let me know where I'm at in the project. First is the info page. This is just going to be the name of the project. If I want to add a description here, I can, but it's not necessary. Save and continue. We're going to have the photos that were automatically pulled in, and I can rearrange these photos if I would like. I can drag and drop. I can also delete one of the photos and just add a new one. Or there's this handy replace tool so that I can just grab another photo. I can go ahead and grab each of these the photos from this project photo because all of the MLS photos are getting pulled in. So I can just swap it out with a different photo like this one. Once that check mark has gone green, that means I've selected it, and it's going to go ahead and be placed in here. If you notice that some of your photos are getting cropped a little bit weird, you can always use the cropping tool that's built in, and you can move or adjust where we're going to be adding that photo. If we do save and continue, we'll be moving on to the text section, and it's going to have each line of text is going to be pulled in with information. If there's an empty line like this second MLS section, that means we don't have that information. If you have it, feel free to fill in that information. As we scroll down, you'll see some more information. You'll see this option here, square feet, is turned red, and it says remaining characters is 0. This red is alarming you that it's just about to go over the edge of having too many characters. Because it's at 0, it's just under the gun and it'll be fine. We're not going to cut anything off. But if it had a negative number underneath it, that means that there's too much space there and we're going to cut that information off. You're going to see this more notably when it comes to the body copy section. If you have a body copy that's too long, say if this was just twice as long, it will turn red once there's too much information. So this allows for a lot of body copy to be in here, so you don't have to worry about that as much. And the nice thing is that we have this tool called Phrase Assistant. So you'll notice on each line where you can add text, if we keep filtering down, there's a small pen and quill that's just going to be on the right side of each line of text. So if we click on it, Phrase Assistant will pop up. And it's first going to show you all the phrases that you've written for this particular folder, meaning this particular project that you're working on. So as you scroll through, you can see things like price, bedrooms, bathrooms, and more. So if you wanted to reuse this information, you can. You can also go into all of your project folders, and this is extremely beneficial if you're looking for body copy from a project that you might already have worked on. So say for a previous listing, you wrote an amazing remark section about the whole property, and this new property that you have is quite similar. You can go ahead and grab that same description about the property. It's going to be here within Phrase Assistant. I'm going to grab it right here. It's going to pop it down to this lower section, and as long as it's not red and it still has characters remaining, you can go ahead and click Insert to close, and it's going to go ahead and fill out this information. The nice thing is that if you're in this area where there's like smaller amount of text that you can add, we can go ahead and only show you phrases that will fit within the current space. So once you check this check mark, it will only filter things down that it will allow 12 characters or less. So we don't want you sorting through too many phrases. This is also helpful because we can sort through your phrases, but we have stock phrases available too. This is helpful if you're having some writer's block and you just don't want to say the same thing over and over again. Feel free to use our phrases by using the limit to only phrases that will fit. If you uncheck it, you can see all of our stock phrases that are available, and they are free to use. So go ahead and peruse them. Anytime that you open it here, it'll bump down as a preview, and it'll let you know if it can fit or not. I'm going to leave this like this. If I keep scrolling down, I've got quite a few spaces where you can add text, so it can get a little bit confusing. If I scroll back up to the top, you'll notice we have view layout on the left side of the page. This is a great tool because it shows you where each photo and each line of text is going to be going. So if you ever get confused about headline or highlight or where is this and that going to go ahead and open this up in a new page. That way you can bounce back and forth between the two. If we scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice we have a place where we can add a second agent's information, including their name, title, phone numbers, and email and URL. And this allows you to promote to people such as you and your partner or someone else who might be showing the property for you. If we do save and continue, our last step is going to be the agent section. Everything that's in here is just getting pulled in from your profile section. So most of the time, you can just confirm the information that's here. Maybe once in a while, you might want to change out your agent photo for just this one flyer or rearrange the phone numbers. Most of the time, you're just going to click Save and Continue, and you'll be warned, hey, you've made some changes to this project. You might want to rehost it. Rehosting means that you want to send the newest information for this project that we edited to the internet because all of our projects are hosted online. This flyer is hosted as a PDF web image. So if we go to download PDF, In order to get this new version that's going to be accessible from this email, if you click Publish to Web, you can go ahead and it'll know that it has been updated, and you can use this link, which is the same link that you got in your email. You can use a bit.ly if you want a shorter version. And it's going to take you right back here to your multiple options. Now, because this is a flyer, you do want to get this printed. That way you can have it available to anybody who's interested. They can go home, put it on their refrigerator, daydream about it. Your contact information is right at the bottom whenever they're ready. In these print options, we have digital print and mail, quantum digital, and soon you're going to be seeing a third print option, and that's going to be express docs. So look out for them as an additional printer. If you don't want to print it with a third-party printer and say you want to print it today, you can go ahead and click Print It Yourself, which is going to be the same thing as Download PDF. Once we're here, you have three options available to you. Standard PDF is available so you can print it on your home or office printer. Commercial PDF allows you to have crop marks, the 1-up, 2-up lead available there, and then web image is available if you plan on posting this on the web. And that's going to be if you want to post on social media that we don't have. So maybe that's going to be Tumblr or Instagram. The download buttons that we see right below here, this allows you to download this copy of the flyer to your computer. And publish as PDF to web allows you to have that web link that I just showed you. And that web link is great because you can share the flyer that way without having to attach it to an email. If we go back to our distribution page, you can also see you can click Publish to Web. You can email this flyer to your contacts. There's our PDF option again, followed by social media integrations. If you've got Facebook, Pinterest, Google+, and Twitter, I'd say go ahead and post it there. That way, the more eyes on there, the better. And then you're going to want to move on and make sure this flyer gets into everybody's hands. If I go back to projects and I go back to my folder for this specific property, I can go ahead and look at my other projects that are available. Now, I just did a print project that's a flyer, and this time I want to show you a digital project, and that's going to be the property tour. We call it a website. You guys are going to use it as a property tour. And you'll notice once again there's preview, edit, and duplicate. So if I edit this project, it's going to be just as similar with the print project. You're going to have this navigation bar at the top of the page, and you're also going to have view out on the left side. If we do save and continue, you'll notice that we've got photos that are getting pulled in. And this property tour allows you to have multiple photos. So go ahead and scroll through and take a look at what you have. Now remember, all of our photos are getting pulled in from the MLS. So you have a couple options if you wanted to update your photos. Say this listing went live yesterday, but at the end of the week, this Friday, you got some beautiful photos from your photographer. If you wanted these newer photos to be added, you can go ahead and add them right now today by clicking on the Add Photos button and grabbing those photos from your computer or from a Dropbox account. This allows you to update the photos that day, especially if the seller wants to see the updated version with the beautiful photos. Now, if you've already added the photos to the MLS and you want us to grab those photos from the MLS, what you can do is you can go ahead and delete all these photos with this Remove All button. We're only going to be deleting the photos within this website, so once we do delete photos, we need to go ahead and save it by going to the end of the page and clicking Save. Now that this photo has 0 projects in it, our system is going to see that and say, hey, we need some photos. So it's going to go over to the MLS and it's going to grab those newest photos that you added. That does take an overnight sync, so you will have to wait possibly 24 hours for it, but it will filter them in automatically to this one project that you deleted the photos from. If you want that to happen for all of your projects, you'll need to delete the photos from each of your projects. That way there's 0 photos in there. All right, moving on. So we're still on this website. We've moved next to the text section. And here you can see that this website allows us to put an open house start and stop time. If it's this Saturday, Then you'd want to type in Saturday. Maybe it's like 3 p.m. that it's going to start. And then you'd want to put the end time of 6 p.m. or whenever it is going to be for you. And then it can go ahead and add that to the open house. Because we've made a change to this website, we're going to want to go ahead and rehost the project at the end. But for now, let's keep scrolling down to check out everything that's here. We've got a place for a second MLS if that applies to you. If you want to add additional information, we've got these blank lines. You can fill those in. And of course, we've got a large body description here. That way you can really promote the whole house. A nice feature about this property tour that we have here is you can add a video to it. We will be providing you with the YouTube video, so you can just place that video right in there. That is something you're going to have to do manually. We won't automatically add it in. If you don't want to use one of ours, that's totally fine. If you have a YouTube video of your own, actually it can be YouTube or Vimeo, go ahead and place that link in here and then rehost the project. The seller is going to be pretty impressed if they can get additional features within that property tour. As we scroll down, we've got a place where you can add even more links to your property tour there. So for example, if you want a more section, you would need to name what you want it to be called. So that can be a school or maybe a different area. And then you need to put the coordinating URL there. So that can be the elementary school that's down the street, or it can be the whole school board email, or not email, website that can tell people more about it. If you wanted to do a second one, you could do one about communities, and then you could put the parks department there. If you wanted to add activities, you would name it activities, and then you could put a link to beach rentals or bike rentals if that's something that you guys have. Multiple spaces for you to put more and more information. My theory is that if there's more information for people to click around on my website, then they're probably going to keep coming back to the property, keep seeing it, keep seeing my information, and then there's a good chance that they're going to give me a call, maybe want to learn more about it. When we get to the bottom, we're also going to have a place to add a second agent's information, and this property tour allows you to add team information as well if that applies to you. So again, name, title, phone numbers, email, and URL. Last step will be confirming your agent information just like before. You can go ahead and click Save and Continue. And now it's going to warn you, hey, you might want to rehost if you made some changes. Absolutely. When we go to rehost this website, we're going to want to do Publish to the Web. And there's a second option there that says Publish Unbranded, and that's going to be beneficial because it'll strip out your contact information, and then this can be shared on other places that need it to be unbranded. Take that link or use a bit.ly, it's really up to you. And you can also use that link and find it within links and tools. It'll provide each of them here, and it'll show you the last time that it was hosted. Alrighty, so we're chugging along here. We've got your multiple projects. I just showed you a print project, how you might want to get it edited and then printed, as well as a digital project. We've got your other projects here, so you would do the same process. You would go ahead and take a look at each of the different designs. You can edit it once you like it. You can choose if you want it to get it printed or distribute it with our different distribution options here. As you can see, this brochure is available to be printed on DPM. That might be the only print partner available for you for this specific brochure. If you don't see multiple options there, don't worry. It might mean that other printer might not be able to print that other design. Alrighty, for each of these projects that are available here, all 7, please know that anytime that your listing is active or listed as for sale, these will be available to the clients. If that listing goes into any other state, we will unhost the projects, meaning take them down from the web automatically. That way people aren't seeing them if this sale is pending. You will still have these projects available to you within this project folder. So this is a great way that you can show prospective sellers a past property that you've marketed. And if you can show them all 7 of these projects, and you can say, hey, I'm going to do this just the same for your property, they're going to be quite impressed with it. So besides these 7 projects that you're getting through this email right here, we wanted to give you even more projects, even more designs that you can really put your personal touch onto. So if we go to the listings tab, we can go ahead and find that listing that we were just working on, 1234 Main Street. And we're going to see all the information that's getting pulled in from the MLS. They've got all the text here, followed by the photos. So if you click on View Projects, we can go back to those existing 7 projects. If you wanted to just create a single project, you can go ahead and click Create Project, and that'll take you to the Design section, where you've got a lot of options to choose from, and I suggest using this Product drop-down or the Task drop-down. That way you can see fewer projects, narrow your choices down a little bit. This helps you create a single project. And if we go back to the listing and go back to the one we're working on, the last option that I want to show you is Create Marketing Kit. Now these are so awesome because we have multiple options for you to choose from. We've got the standard listing package, but guess what? That's the one you already have with all 7 of the projects, the 2 brochures, flyer, property tour, e-card, and video. So you already have those. If you wanted some additional pieces, here they are, and they're actually in different designs. So we've got the blue, silver, cabernet. We've got 2 additional types of blue, so you can pick your fancy, gold and gray. So if you take a look at this bottom blue one, you'll notice it's a completely different design. It might have the pizzazz that you want. Once you click select, it's going to do the same process as before. It's going to take the existing photos and the existing text, and it's going to pull them into these 3 new projects, and it's going to add it to the same exact folder as we were working in before. So if we take a look at this brochure, we can go ahead and preview it, and it'll really show us how that blue is going to pop. And I always like to open things up in a new window, that way I can really get a look at what we're seeing here. Photos are getting pulled in just the same as before. You want to check everything that's getting pulled in to make sure it's in the right place. Personally, I would go ahead and crop this photo, that way the top's not getting cut off here, and you can see there you can add a larger description about this property. So same as before, if we go back to the same folder, we've got a blue flyer, a blue e-postcard, and a blue brochure. So this is great for the picky client who wants more options, just wants a little bit more pizzazz. At this point, you can definitely give it to them. When we're at the listings tab, I want to show you something else that's really cool. So it's obviously going to pull in each of your listings, and that's great because then from there you can go ahead and check out everything, view projects, create a single project, or create a marketing kit. But say for example, you don't have any listings right now, or you just don't have any listings that you're super impressed with. So we allow you to click Create New Listing. This allows you to enter a listing. That way, if you wanted to make up one of your own, or for example, if the listing that you have is not yet active and you still want to promote it and make marketing pieces for it, you can go ahead and enter in as much as the information as you have right now, write a remark, and then add some photos. From there, you can go ahead and do the same thing. You can create a single product, or you can create a marketing kit, and that way you can show the seller, or maybe the prospective seller again who's on the fence, show them what they can do. So I'm going to show you one of the ones that I did. So this is my faux listing, 904 Jaguars Lane. I added all this information manually. I actually used an old remark section, and then I had a couple photos pulled in. I got these photos from my computer because they're an older listing. We can't access the old ones and that have already sold. And then once again, I can do create projects, view projects, and then create marketing kit. And because this is my faux listing and I want to show somebody what I can really do, I'm going to go ahead and select the full all 7 listing package, click select, and then I'm going to have these projects saved. So remember, this is a great alternative if you want to create a listing package just from scratch, or if you want to show a prospective seller what you can do for them. As you can see, I now have 14 projects in here because I already did the listing package again. Just so you know, it's really easy to delete or move projects just in case if you make a boo-boo. And if you go to projects, you can even delete an entire folder and it'll take out all of those projects that you made. Okay, so where I got there is, remember, I created a new listing totally from scratch. I filled all this information in, and then I used these handy buttons on the side to create a marketing kit. Okay, let's say, for example, you're within the life of your listing, you've listed it, it's gone active, you've had people look at it, and you now have it as sold. What you can do with one of your projects is you can go to that property and say, for example, you've already done a postcard when the property was listed, but this time you might want to do a second project that shows that it's just sold. So in this case, you would want to duplicate the project, and all it's going to do is it's going to create a copy of it. All that same information with the photos, text, listing information is going to be pulled in, but this time when you edit it, you're going to want to change the text so that it says just sold. Exclamation point, just as I have right here. You can change the price so that it shows what the sale price was, and then if you wanted to add more information about that home, the neighborhood, or even if you wanted to change this body copy to say how awesome of a realtor you are, you can do that too. Remember, it's a copy of the previous one, so we're not messing with the original version. Here we've got agent 2 information, just the same as before. Save and continue, we have our agent information. If you're feeling creative and you want to just go ahead and explore all of the designs that we have, that's also the last option that I'll show you today. Within designs, you can go ahead and take a look. We have all of the different product types that are available, so you can look by postcard, flyer, virtual tour. And I always like to use this show all option because it has multiple drop-down options that I can go ahead and narrow my search, because so far I've got quite a few to choose from. The nice thing is that as you're using the Marketing Concierge, there is going to be a Get Support button on every single page. This Get Support button will have a large amount of FAQs to help you along the way, and there's also a search bar. You can send us an email by clicking Submit a Request, and then you can tell us what's going on, what you might need help with. And then from there, you can also give us a call, and if you need any additional assistance, we'd be happy to help you out. So let me know if you need any assistance by clicking the Get Support button, and for now, just enjoy exploring the Marketing Concierge Center.